boys, we got a no heat service call. We're gonna dig in and see what's going on. All right, so heard the board click down there and everything. The board's flashing lights. It's just flashing its idle code down there. So I think we're just on our, you can see waiting for equipment. I just think we're on our normal delay right now. So we'll give it a second, see if anything happens. So thermostat's showing heat on. We are actually getting a code now. It's 1, 2, 3 flash. All right, so we'll go find our diagnostic chart and see what that code is. All right, we have 3 flashes, pressure switch error. All right, so that tells us we're not getting to our pressure switch. This inducer capacitor, that's the first thing we're going to check. It's rated for 4 and we're reading 4.057. So inducer capacitor is good. We need to check, we're going to check voltage to our inducer motor now. The board jumped out because I'm tired of waiting for the delay, but to test voltage come into our inducer motor, I have one lead going to the Molex coming from the board, and then the other hot wires going to the little safety switch over here. So we'll just put in our lead in here. So we'll flip this on. We should be getting 120 volts. If we get 120 volts, we're gonna have a bad inducer motor. So flip this on. This is gonna be the bottom one. And 120. So we got a bad inducer motor. Let's go pick one up and let's get it swapped out. All right, take our safety out. We'll have a few screws. One down here. 2. Should be another bottom right. Yeah. Cool. We'll take our clamp off up here. Cool. I'm gonna take a little pair of dikes. We'll cut this zip tie, and then we can kind of get all our wires free. All right, got everything out. This hose clamp at the bottom was a pain right there, but it should just. Come on. All right, hold on. Should just come out like that now. All right, cool. So we just gotta we have a ground wire here, so we have our ground wire here. Take that out. All right, cool. The new motor. I took the old safety off the old motor. The new one doesn't come with the safety, but got to put on this one, and then all I got to do is just screw these in. Like that. All right, cool. All right. And I always flip the capacitor around just cause. All right, I got that swapped around, and you can never be too sure. So we'll just double check this capacitor, and we're at 4.026, perfect. We'll put that back on, and we'll get this cover back on. We'll get it mounted up in there. All right, got that all propped up back in there. We're gonna go in with our screws now. Two, bottom right. Alright, cool. Alright, let's get our safeties put on. So I got everything looking good. I got my ground put back in on here. We have our one hot wire going to the bottom of this, and then the other one right here is just, this is how it is with the original inducer motor. So we're just gonna cut right here, and then we'll go grab a spade terminal and put a spade on here. So we'll be right back. All right, wire strippers. We're gonna go right about here with it. go a tad bit shorter. We'll cut about that off. Twist that up. All right, and now we'll go here. We'll grab our crimper tool on our wire stripper and just pound that thing down. Should be all good. Pound it here. Oops, not that. Pound it here, pound it there. All right, cool. We'll go on here with that. And let's go. Let's fire it up. One final step, I almost forgot. We're just gonna plug our neutral mullix in. And then we also already have R&W jumped out at the board, so we shouldn't have to mess with our thermostat at all. We're just gonna go ahead and kick it on and our system should come on. There goes our inducer motor, awesome. And then pressure switch is gonna verify proper draft. You can hear it do its little click. Igniter, yep, there it goes. And then our gas valve's gonna get our voltage. It'll open up in just a second. You can actually hear the gas valve click a little bit. Click, flames open, and there's gas. And we'll let everything run for just a few minutes, but that's how you diagnose and replace a bad inducer motor. Hope everything helped, and as always, rock chalk. Always make sure you're taking the amp draw and everything before you go. This is at 0.61, and then it's rated for, it won't focus, but it's rated for 0.71, so we are all good to go.